Welcome back to Writing Tutorials. Today, we're going to cover a specific type of letter that can be challenging to write, both emotionally and practically. We're talking about a university withdrawal letter. This type of letter is often written by students who need to step away from their studies due to personal, financial, or medical reasons. It's a formal way of informing the university of your decision, and it's a necessary step to ensure that your records are handled correctly. We'll go through each part of this sample letter, breaking it down sentence by sentence, so you'll know exactly what to include if you ever find yourself needing to write one. Let's start. Header section. Alright, let's begin with the header section. Here, we have Michael Roberts as the student who's withdrawing. He starts by listing his contact information, his full name, address, phone number, and email. This information is essential because it ensures the admissions office knows who the letter is from and how to reach Michael if they have any questions. When you're writing a formal letter like this, make sure to include your complete contact details at the top. It may seem simple, but it's an important step to make sure everything is clear and official. After that, we have the date, November 1, 2024. Including the date shows exactly when this request was made, which is crucial for the official records. If you're writing a letter like this, remember to add the date. This small detail helps the letter look more professional and ensures everyone's on the same page about the timing. Recipient information. Next, we move on to the recipient information. Michael is addressing this letter to the admissions office at Greenfield University. He includes the department name, the name of the university, and the full address. In most cases, a withdrawal letter is directed to the admissions or registrar's office, as they're typically the ones who handle these requests. Make sure to be precise about where the letter is going. Adding the department's name can help prevent any delays in processing your request. Subject line. Then, we have subject line. Michael writes, Withdrawal from Greenfield University enrollment. This is short but clear and lets the admissions team know exactly what the letter is about before they even start reading it. Adding a subject line in a formal letter isn't always mandatory, but in cases like this, it can be very helpful. For official letters, it's often a good idea to include a subject line so there's no ambiguity about the purpose of the letter. A clear subject line helps the reader understand your intent right away. Opening and main statement. Now, let's dive into the main part of the letter. Michael starts with a polite opening, saying, Dear Admissions Committee, which is a formal and respectful way to begin. Next, he gets right to the point with his main request. I am writing to formally request the withdrawal of my enrollment from Greenfield University for the upcoming spring 2024 semester. In this sentence, he is clear and direct about his intention to withdraw. If you're writing a withdrawal letter, it's important to state your request clearly in the very first paragraph. Be straightforward about your intent to withdraw. This makes it easier for the reader to understand your needs and process your request accordingly. Explanation for the decision. Moving on, Michael provides a brief explanation for his decision. He says, I have given this decision significant consideration, and due to unforeseen personal circumstances, I am unable to proceed with my studies at this time. This is a polite and respectful way of explaining his situation without going into too much personal detail. When you're writing a withdrawal letter, it's entirely up to you how much you want to share about your reasons. You can keep it general, as Michael does here, or you can include more specifics if you feel it's necessary. Explaining your decision in a sentence or two is often helpful because it shows that you've thought this through and that your request is based on serious considerations. Student details and program information. In the next part, Michael includes some key details about his enrollment. He writes, I was accepted into the Bachelor of Arts in English Literature program, with the student ID number 56789. This information is very important. By including his program and student ID number, Michael makes it easy for the admissions team to locate his records and process his withdrawal request accurately. When you're writing your own letter, make sure to add specific details like your program name and student ID. Providing this information ensures there's no confusion about which student is making the request, and it helps speed up the process. Official notification statement. Michael then includes a statement that reinforces his intention to withdraw. He says, Please consider this letter as my official notification of withdrawal. This line is a great way to clarify that this letter serves as an official request. By saying it directly, Michael is making sure the admissions team understands that he's not just exploring options, he's formally asking to be withdrawn. In your own letter, including a sentence like this can be helpful, as it reinforces your intent and makes your request clear. Request for guidance on next steps. After stating his decision, Michael politely asks for guidance on the withdrawal process. He writes, "I would appreciate any guidance on the formal withdrawal process and any required paperwork to finalize my status." This is a thoughtful addition because it shows that he's willing to complete any necessary steps. Asking for guidance on the next steps is a great way to show that you're committed to handling this properly and that you want to ensure all the requirements are met. If you're writing a letter like this, asking for information on the next steps can be very useful. It demonstrates that you're proactive about following the university's procedures, which can leave a positive impression. Inquiry about outstanding obligations or fees. Next, Michael adds a request for information on any outstanding fees or obligations. He says, "Additionally, please inform me if there are any outstanding fees or obligations associated with my withdrawal." This is a smart question to ask, as universities sometimes have financial or administrative requirements that must be settled when a student withdraws. Asking this question helps Michael avoid any surprises and ensures he's prepared to handle any final obligations. In your own letter, it's a good idea to ask about any outstanding fees or requirements. This way you can take care of everything before you officially leave, which keeps your records in good standing with the university. Thank you statement and future possibilities. Michael then closes with a polite expression of gratitude and hope for the future. He writes, "Thank you for your understanding and support. I hope to reapply to Greenfield University in the future when my situation allows me to fully commit to my education." This is a kind and respectful way to end the letter. By thanking the admissions team, he acknowledges their help, which leaves a positive impression. And by mentioning that he hopes to return in the future, he leaves the door open for a possible reapplication, showing that he values his connection to the university. When you're closing your letter, a thank you statement is always appreciated. And if you think you might return to your studies later, it's a nice touch to mention that as well. Signature and final contact information. Finally, Michael signs the letter sincerely, Michael Roberts, with his printed name right below. At the very end, it's always good to sign the letter by hand if you're submitting a printed copy. If it's electronic, just typing your name works too. And don't forget to add your contact information again to make it easy for the admissions team to reach you. And that's the complete breakdown of a withdrawal letter from a university. If you follow these steps, you'll be able to write a polite, professional, and effective letter that communicates your decision clearly and respectfully. I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe to Writing Tutorials for more guidance on writing all kinds of letters and documents. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.